Hello, little sippers.
Hey, sippers. Are you ready to do some painting?
I am.
We are.
We are ready for another Art Sippers challenge.
Yes, we
Come
are.
on.
Let's do this. All right, let's quickly introduce ourselves.
Yes, so my name is Naughty. They call me Naughty around here.
Indeed, and I'm NorteyPitcher.
So together we are Naughty and Pitcher. It was meant to be. It was meant to be.
And we are your creative confidence coaches.
Oh, what does that mean, Pitcher?
Building your creative confidence muscle today. That is there you go. There you go. Getting the muscle out. Taking you from zero to Picasso. That's the plan.
Fingers crossed. I think we can do it. Do you want to show them what we're going to be creating today?
Yes, so we are art sippers. We bring you the art, and this is what we are creating today.
This is a lovely Lil Sunset. That's what we're going to call it. For our Lil Sippers, we're going to call this Lil Sunset.
There we go. And this is what we are painting today. This is a nice little beach scene. There we go. And we're going to put this little palm tree and then the little, can you see the little sand? And the sky. And you guys can get creative. You can change the colours of the sky. Maybe you want to put something in the sand down here. Maybe you want to put a little shark fin or a dolphin swimming in the sea. Completely up to you. So this is what we are painting. And we are called art sippers for a reason. Why are we called art sippers?
Because we have a cheeky little sip sometimes during the show. So we press this belly the bell every single time we think it's getting a bit tense. The challenge is getting a bit, we need to pause and reflect. So we press belly and we encourage you guys at home to have a cheeky little sip so that you can just relax.
So I'm going to be sipping on Esprada, the raspberry and lime drink today. You might find one of these in your art sippers box. So if you have an art sippers box, make sure you dig deep.
Dig deep. It looks like this. Let me grab it. There we go. It's this. If you got this, dig deep. And also there might be some treats in there. You can have those at any time you like. Don't wait for us to tell you when to have them.
Don't wait for the bell.
Just go for it. Just go for it.
Yes, so that is what we're going to paint, and that we're going to go through the tools in a second. But first off, I'd like to go through the Art Sippers Challenge steps.
Yes.
Going to do that? The
steps of the Art Sippers Challenge. First step is take a picture of your blank canvas. This is important because we want you to go from zero to Picasso. And at the end, you're going to create a masterpiece. And we want everyone to know that you started off with a blank canvas. This is the hardest part, blank canvas.
So take a photo of that step. And then the second step is right at the end, you need to take a picture of your final masterpiece. So once it's completed, take a photo of your masterpiece. But the third and final step, which is the most important step,
and the hardest
step, is to share your work. So share your work, show your work to somebody else. That might be showing your siblings or your mum or dad or guardian. That might mean...
Or share it to us.
Sharing it with us, of course. You can hashtag Art Sippers Challenge and we will see it. We love to see your work.
We do. And the good thing is, if you share your artwork with us, there will be one lucky winner who gets a prize. Yes, because we know it's a hard thing to do is sharing your creativity. Share it with us. And if you share it with us, we will be choosing one lucky winner to win a prize.
Sounds exciting.
I think it's exciting, right?
Yes. They're the 3 steps. Not too hard, hopefully. I know the last one is a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
But 3 steps to the Art Sippers Challenge. All right, so I'm going to quickly go through the tools.
Show the tools. We told them the rules.
We have told them the rules. Let's go through the tools. Okay, so the tools. So we've already said you need your canvas. So if you've got your Art Sippers experience box, find your canvas. I'm using the stretched canvas. That's the one with the frame. You can use the canvas board there as well if you want to. You can use that instead. Then we've got 3 paintbrushes. We have the big brush. So this is a big flat shader. So if you look in your pack, you'll find the biggest one and it has a flat edge like that. We're going to be using that for the background, a lot of the background. Then we have the flat shader medium brush. So again, this is a flat edge. In your box, you will find a little rounded edge and a flat edge. Go on the one with the flat edge. Then we have the small round. This is the smallest one.
Your baby brush.
This is for details. Definitely for the palm tree leaves. We want to use that small one. Maybe some little reflections in the water too. Small. Pencil. We don't need this much, but we might want to do that horizon line just to give us a little guide there. Eraser. In case you do that horizon line one. Paper towel. This is to wipe your brushes, clean your brushes. So paper towel's always good. Any excess paint you need to wipe off in the paper towel. Acrylic paint. We're using acrylic paint today. So acrylic paint, be careful if you get it on your clothes. It can be quite difficult to get off. So just be careful of your clothes. Wear an apron, a beret, protect yourself. So acrylic paint. If you've got coloured pens or watercolours, you can use them too, but it's just a different process. So we have some white, yellow. This is lemon yellow. So if you've got our pack, you'll see 2 yellows. We're going to be using 2 yellows today. So we've got the lemon yellow and the yellow ochre. So that's the kind of mustard colour.
Oh, I love that colour.
Okay. I've got a couple of blues here. I've got the phthalo blue.
Phthalo.
You'll see that in your pack. If you have cerulean blue, you can grab that. You might have it in one of your art packs. It's not in our one, but you can grab that. It's a bit of a sky colour blue, but you can still make this colour using phthalo blue and a little bit of white and yellow, so it's fine. Viridian. This is the kind of greeny colour in the pack. So I put both greens. Viridian, which is like a bluey green, which is also quite nice to put in the sea.
I'm going to hold these up so the sippers can see them at the same time.
Yeah. Or the grass green. So the grass green there, that'll be used for the palm tree leaves. But this viridian might be quite nice in the sea, like I said. This one here is orange, the vermilion orange. Then I've got both browns. You don't need both browns, but I put both the burnt sienna and the burnt umber. And then black. There we go. And they are our colours. So we've got quite a lot on here.
There's a lot.
Might use some of them. We might not use some of them. It's always happens. All right, so there are colours, but the one other thing we do need, which doesn't come in your box,
what's that picture?
Is some tap water.
Ooh.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, little sippers. Because no, that's it. Because we're going to be doing some sipping when we press belly. Remember to don't accidentally sip on your paint juice. It doesn't taste nice. Sip on your lovely, lovely drink you've got at home. If you've got a drink, make sure it's not that one because it doesn't taste nice. But if you do, let us know so we can all have a giggle.
I like it. Tell us. It always happens. I've done it many times. And try not to dip your paintbrush in your drink. That also happens.
That's a wasted sip, right?
Yes. So that is all the tools. I know it's quite a lot of tools, but they're all the tools for today's show. But Naughty, do you want to go through the competition element just again quickly?
Yes. So, like I said, guys, we are going to be choosing a winner. So what we want you to do is send us your creations. We've got something called the Art Sippers Kids Club. That's a Facebook group. You can send us all of your creations, and then at the end of the month, we will choose one lucky winner to win a special prize. So, are you feeling extra brave? That's the third step of the Art Sippers Challenge. But first off, let me tell you, this isn't just an art challenge. This is all about the dad jokes, the artifacts. Yes, that's what I'm here for. The Art Sippers Challenge is all about using your creativity with your hands and also with your mind. So I'm going to be activating your creative thinking, and let's see if you can answer my dad jokes. So play along at home. If you can answer my dad jokes, give yourself a pat on the back because some of them are a bit tricky. So dad jokes are incoming, and let's hope you can get them correct. So shout them out, shout them proud, and hopefully you can keep up and keep a tally and see if you've got them correct throughout the show.
Yeah, they're not easy.
They're not easy. But saying that, we said that we're going to be calling this Lil Sunset. I think after looking at it a little bit closely.
Oh, you got it wrong. That was the other one that we did.
I think we should
Little
change
Beach.
it. Call it Little Beach, or would you think Palm Down?
Oh,
What do you think, Little Sippers? Little Beach or Palm Down? We are painting a palm tree. What do you think? What do you think, Pitcher?
I like Palm Down.
Palm Down is, we've rebranded in the middle of this show. The creation is Palm
I like
Down.
I like
Okay,
it. That's
so
awesome.
that's what we're going to be creating today.
Calm down. All right, cool. I think we're ready. Do you want to get everybody in the mood quickly?
I think so. So before we get creative, you need to feel calm. You need to feel collected. You need to palm down. So before that, I want you to do something for me. I want you to do something that you do. You'll see some people doing this before they get on stage, before they do talks. They do something called a power pose. So let's do this all together. Let's get that power. So first off, let's play the piano in front of us. Play that virtual piano. And once you're playing that, this is loosen up those fingers because you need these to create your masterpiece. Now I want you to raise your fingers in the sky as high as you can, touching the ceiling if you can. And once as high as you can go, I want you to take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth and bring your hands down and shake it out. Shake it out. We're going to do that. Come on, let's do it again. It feels good. Twinkle fingers, play that imaginary piano. Hands to the sky, touch the ceiling, breathe it in and exhale. Shake it off, shake it off. One last time so you feel really loosey-goosey. Virtual piano, to the ceiling, breathe it in, inhale, exhale, shake it out. Now you should feel calm, collected, and ready to create. Are you ready, little sippers? I am. If you're not, let's get sipping.
Sip, sip. Okay. So first off, we are going to grab our pencil and we're going to do a horizon line. Let's have a look at this. Okay, here is our reference photo. So you can see the horizon line is kind of near the middle, not quite in the middle. In the middle would be about here. So we got to find the middle and go down a little bit, and then we're going to do this horizon line. So we've definitely got a bit more of a bigger chunk at the top, a bit more sky, a little less beach. So let's have a look at that. Find the middle, which is about here. Maybe go down a bit. And then we're going to do a line for the horizon line. So do a straight line.
Is that in the middle or not the middle picture?
Not quite the middle, but near the middle. There we go. So that is going to be our horizon line, which is essentially where the sea starts. So we've got the sky and then the sea.
I see what you did there.
He done it. He's already started. And then we can, if we want to, do a little bit of a squiggle for the beach. So this isn't straight. This is a bit of a wonky line. It goes down, swerves round. So we can kind of go wobbly here and then maybe go down here. This creates the effect of waves coming in.
Ah.
Right, so let's maybe start round about here. Maybe wobble up a little bit.
Oh, we love a wobbly line.
Maybe come down a little bit like that. Yeah. Similar. So it's gone up. And this is going to be the beach.
Life is a beach. Let's create one.
Now, we could draw the bark of the palm tree, but I'm actually not going to because we're going to be applying quite a lot of paint all over here. And we'll probably lose that line. So we'll find that palm tree later on and we'll sketch that palm tree up later on.
That's a good idea.
All right. Okay, and that is pretty much it for our sketching tools right now.
Oh, that's it. That was easy.
Quite easy. All right, so we're going to pop our pencil and rubber down. If you don't need the rubber or pencil anymore, so put that behind there. And we're going to grab our big brush. We're going to start with the sky. Grab a big brush and get some water on it. So you always want to get a little bit of water on your brush, make it slightly damp so our bristles stick together and we can paint quite nicely with it. All right, let's have a look at our paints. So for the sky, you can see it's a blue colour, but it actually has different colour blues in here. You've got kind of a little bit of a medium to dark blue. And then you've got lighter bits over here. Can you see that? Lighter bits there.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then almost like light blue and then some white, which makes it look like there's some clouds in the sky.
Do you know what you could say? You could almost say there are different blue hues.
Blue hues. I like that. Very nice. Okay, so let's mix some blues up before we start. Let's mix a kind of medium blue and a light blue. And then we've got our white there, which we don't need to mix. Right, let's make some blues. So we've got a couple of blues to work with. We've got our phthalo blue or our sky cerulean blue. if you're using our pack, you'll only have phthalo blue. So let's work with that one to start with. Take some white to the side, like this, a big blob of it.
Is that a technical term, picture?
It is.
A big blob of it. Why not?
Big blob of it. We've got to cover so much of that sky, so much of that canvas. So it's almost like a big grape. Mix a small amount, not too much, because we want it to be a medium blue.
Okay, less is more with this one.
So just dip your brush just a little bit into the corner, and then you want to mix that into your white. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, it's changing. It's
changing colour. Blue, phthalo blue especially, is quite strong. So you just want to put a little bit in to start with and see what colour it turns out. Now try and mix on the same spot so it doesn't go everywhere and dry out. I'm going to put a little bit more in, so just gradually put a little bit more in, see what colour it turns. You want it to be a nice sky blue. When it's a sunny day, sky blue.
Just keep adding until you get the colour that you want.
Yeah, so yours might be slightly different. But do you know what I like to do? Because phthalo blue is such a cool blue, I like to add a very small amount of yellow.
Oh, that's a really small amount.
Very small amount. And it will start kind of making it a little bit more of a sky blue. So it's a bit warmer.
Warming up the sky.
Yep, might add a little bit more of that blue. There you go. It's starting to turn into that kind of sky colour now. There we go. You can add yellow as much as you like. It gives you that little bit of a warm. But if you add too much, it goes quite green. So be careful adding too much. Now there's our sky blue. Now you can, if you wanted to, just use white and cerulean blue, which will give you the same kind of colour. So white and cerulean blue will give you that same kind of colour. So if you've got cerulean blue, you can use that too. Very similar. I'm just going to mix them together, so we just got one to work with.
I like that. Mix and blend, my friends. Mix and blend.
Okay, now we want to make a pastel colour. So we've got our kind of sky colour. We want that light blue now. So this light blue colour here. Now to do that, what we're going to do is we're not going to wash our brush. We're just going to take a bit of white. Try not to dip it right in the middle. Take it from the side. And then mix that there with all the colour that's still on your brush. And that is going to give you a nice pastel colour.
Ah.
So we're not wasting that paint by washing it off our brush. We're just using it by mixing it into some of the white.
That's a good sip tip. I like that.
Little
Waste
sip
not,
tip.
want not. Sip tip. And
Sip
you can
tip.
have a little sip at the same time. Do you know what? I'm going to go in with my
let's do
first
it.
dad joke. Do you know what I need? I need a prop. I need a prop. Here is the prop. This is the pencil you use to sketch out your background scenery. But I'm going to ask you a question. What favorite holiday destination is a pencil's? Where does a pencil want to go? Where's its favorite holiday destination? A pencil. You tell me. Where is a pencil's favorite holiday destination? I'm going to emphasize again. Where is a pencil's favorite holiday destination? If you know, you know. I'm going to give you a few moments and then I'm going to give you the answer.
Okay, so we've got our two blues now. What we're going to do is, using our big brush, we're going to work really fast and we're going to put all this colour down on our canvas. So grab your blank canvas. We're going to start in the sky. Let's start with the light blue because that's already on our brush. And we're going to go like this, as fast as possible. Apply that colour, that light blue. I'm going to start with the light blue over in this corner and we'll go for the darker kind of blue up in this corner. So grab that brush and go side to side.
You're doing really big strokes, big strokes,
yeah.
big strokes.
Get lots of paint. Apply it quite thick. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Can you see if I just stop there, it kind of leaves a little bit of a mark. So try and go all the way to the edge if you can. And don't forget, if you want to paint the sides.
Sip tip, remember to paint those sides. You will kick yourself, little sippers. You'll be like, do you know what? I should have painted the sides, because you're going to create a masterpiece. So remember, paint those sides so that at every single angle, you look at your creation and go, it looks good. It looks good. If it doesn't look good, it means the sides, they're empty, they're bare. So make sure you cover it with this lovely blue hue that you created.
That's a good tip. You think, oh, I don't need to paint the sides, but then you put it up on your wall and you think, oh, it's all looking messy around the side. Okay, so there's that blue. Let's go in with the other blue, shall we? Let's go in with the other blue that we mix. I'm going to get a lot of it up. Can you see it's darker? And what we're going to do is we're going to overlap it ever so slightly to blend it like kind of through it.
Is this why you said work fast, so that they're still wet together?
So when blending, you want to work quite fast. So you have to kind of go fast, side to side, side to side, side to side.
We are challenging our little sips today, aren't we?
Yeah,
we blending, wet and wet technique, different colours. They always step up to the challenge, though, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They always do. Everyone does so brilliantly. We love seeing all your work come through on the Art Sippers Kids Pub.
And if you want, you can tag us. Tag us at Art Sippers Kids on Instagram. Just send in your creations. Remember to use the hashtag Art Sippers Challenge.
Okay. Just putting a little bit more down here. Just didn't go all the way to the horizon line. There we go. So you can see there's a little bit of streaks in the sky. That's actually nice when you see that.
Oh, it's a good thing.
Yeah, because it looks like clouds, different colours in the sky coming together. The sky can sometimes have loads of different shades. So we're working fast. Get it all applied down. Don't forget the top as well.
Oh, yeah, the top as well. The sides and the top, everywhere.
And the bottom when we get to it.
Yes. So I threw out to you little sippers. I asked you a little question. It was, where is a pencil's favourite holiday destination? Did you get this one? I started off easy. Did you get this? The answer, drumroll please,
Ding, 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 ding.
was Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Of course. If you got it right, give yourself a little pat on the back. Have a little extra sip. You deserve it.
I like that. That's quite an easy one, actually, I think.
I think so, but it's easy because I know the answers.
Yeah.
It's always easier when you know the answers.
So true.
We're trying to get them using their creative thinking, so hopefully by the end of it, you'll start to get all of them. That means that you're really into the crit zone.
So I'm going to go back in with the light one now. The light one that we did at the beginning. And I'm going to just place a little bit more of that light one over the top. Can you see how it's still wet? It's blending quite nicely.
Oh, I like that.
And while it's still wet, what I want to do, I'm not going to wash my brush for this. I'm going to go in with the white, just as it is. And I am also going to put some of that down here. So I'm actually going to put maybe a little bit over here, maybe a little bit over here. Can you see how it's starting to look like clouds?
Oh, it is, like wispy
sky?
clouds.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wispy little clouds in the sky. So I'm just painting in some of that. Maybe I want to put a little bit more up here, big cloud over here. So I'm just still going kind of back and forth. Starting to look like clouds. Maybe a little bit over here. The horizon, near the horizon. Maybe a few more here. Maybe a little bit more light over here. Don't forget the sides if you want a bit of that cloud coming around the side.
Yeah, bring those clouds all around. Make it like an almost 3D effect. Make it go around. Oh, I've got another one. I've got another one. We said we're going to be easy, so I'm going to give them another slightly easy one. I'm going to build up. So, think about it. This is all about the artwork that we're about to create. That's the only sip tip I'm going to give you. The answer is similar to the name of the artwork we are about to create.
Can you remember that though? Because we changed that.
So now, here it is. Can you tell me, little sippers, what tree fits in your hand? What kind of tree fits in this, your hand? Can you tell me? The answer should be easy. What kind of tree fits in your hand? If you know, you know.
There you go. We've done the sky. I think it's time to do the sea now. Let's have a look at the sea. I'm going to wash my brush for the first time.
Oh, do you know what we say? Every time you dip, you got to have a sip. Them's are the rules. Them's are the rules. That was a bit of a gulp. That was a gulp. That wasn't even a sip. That was a gulp.
It's because I haven't had one for a while.
Okay.
So we're going to wash our brushes. When we wash our brushes, we paint the bottom of the cup side to side. Paint the bottom of the cup side to side. Once you've done that a couple of times, you bring it up. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
There's still so much paint on there. Sometimes the cup is just not going to get that paint off. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint the paper towel now. Paint the paper towel. So you always want to use the paintbrush, even when you're cleaning it, in the same way that you use it when you're actually painting. And that's why we're painting the paper towel. Okay, painted the paper towel. Still didn't come off. So now I need to wipe the sides.
Ah, it gets everywhere.
It gets everywhere. Yeah. Wipe the sides on the paper towel. And then there you go.
Clean.
That is nice and clean now.
Fresh and new.
I don't want to leave it sitting in the water either. So when you're not using it, I don't like to leave it sitting in the water because this is what it's going to look like when it's in your cup. And then you're going to be painting with essentially maybe a bendy paintbrush. So you don't want to do that.
You want the bendy paintbrush.
Lying down when you're not using it. Okay, but we are still using this. So let's have a look at the colours first in the sea. So we're going to do a similar thing like we did with the sky. We're going to make a couple of colours for the sea and we're going to blend them together as well. We've got this dark horizon line, so it's a little bit darker there at the back of the sea, the deep ocean.
That's like a deep blue sea,
deep
right?
Blue sea, yeah, it's dark. So we need a dark blue for that colour. Then we have some kind of medium blues, but then we've also got this kind of tealy turquoise colour coming through here.
That's the kind of blues I like in the sea.
Yeah. So we've got a few colours there. Let's mix these colours, make a couple, and then we'll paint the sea.
Sounds like a plan.
So we've already got a dark blue. We've got our phthalo blue here.
Hello.
But we want to go a bit darker with this. So take that phthalo blue to the side. Just a little bit of it, not as big as the big grape, because the horizon line isn't that big. So we've got our dark blue. Let's put a tiny touch of black in there. This is going to make it a bit darker. Not too much, but put a little bit of that in there. You want to take a little bit of black, mix it in, see if it's changed colour. If it hasn't, mix a little bit more in until you get a nice deep dark blue. It's like a navy blue. There we go. So that is a navy blue. It might look black on the camera, but it's actually quite a nice navy blue. Can you see that? Okay, if you need to mix up a little bit more, do. You know how to mix it now. So blue and black. Okay, so that is our lovely navy blue. I'm going to wash my brush because I don't want this dark colour to go into the next colour, all right? So let's wash that.
Yeah, it can be a bit too much, that darkness.
Yeah. Here we go. Again, paint towel, wipe the sides.
Get off that excess.
Okay. Now let's make this kind of turquoise blue. See a turquoise blue there? This is quite a nice one to do. If you've got our pack, you can mix a bit of Viridian and then the dark blue. So take some Viridian, which is green. It's like a greeny blue. And then mix a little bit of the phthalo blue in there. And straight away, you'll get a greeny blue. Can you see that? starting to get this kind of greeny, tealy, turquoise colour.
Oh, I like that colour. Bit of teal.
It's still dark right now, but it is a greeny blue. And if you add a touch of white to that, you can see it's a nice greeny blue. So that's the Viridian and blue. And a touch of white, that's going to give you that colour there.
Oh, that's a nice colour. Really, really nice. It's like rich and luxurious.
It is, isn't it? It's a kind of colour of our hats.
It is. I think it's a very nice colour.
Very, very nice.
People always ask us, why do we wear our berets? Do you know why? It's so that we don't take ourselves so seriously.
No.
You can't take yourself seriously when you're wearing a beret. So that's why the Art Sippers Challenge is all about trying things new, not taking yourself seriously, and just having a bit of playtime.
And we do have like one rule at Art Sippers. And
We take this seriously.
Yeah, that's the only thing we take seriously.
What's that picture?
And that is no judgment. So no judgment. And that's why we wear our berets, so that you don't take yourself seriously. You're not judging yourself throughout this process.
That's the reason.
It's quite normal when you're doing any painting or anything creative to judge yourself. So compare yourself to others, to say that you're not as good as them and that you're not doing very well. But no, it's just a process. The more practice you get.
And this is the process. We always say that comparison is the thief of
joy. Yes.
So don't compare yourself. Wear a beret. Line up. Have a bit of playtime.
All right, so we've got our dark blue, our medium blue. Let's get our greeny blue. We've already made a kind of slightly greeny blue, but we're going to make it even greener. So take your Viridian. I'm not going to wash my brush because I've still got that Viridian and blue. Take your Viridian and add a touch of yellow to it. And that is going to give us like a greeny kind of blue colour. Can you see that? That is going to be the other colour that we add. Let's go in and add these colours to the sea. I'm going to keep my brush with this green on because that's the colour I can first use. And we're going to start blending, so we're working fast again, okay?
Let's do it.
So I put some green. I'm going to put some green here, maybe a little bit at the front here. Can you see how I'm just quickly applying that paint? Okay, quite thick if you can, because then it will blend out nicer. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
You might want to wash your brush for this bit now. We're going to move to the other blue, the medium greeny blue. So we're not the dark one.
Remember, you're dipping, so you must be
Sipping.
sipping.
This one here. So let's grab some of that. Quite thick. Again. Can you see how I'm doing side to side still?
Yeah, side action.
Yep. There we go. I'm overlapping some of the green there. Okay. Doing it to the pencil line. Don't forget the sides. Oh, put that all over me. Baby wipes.
Yes. See, it happens in picture. Paint can get everywhere. This is the reason why we always say every artist needs some baby wipes near them, because it can be messy work. So if you anytime get acrylic paints where you don't want it, just get some baby wipes, and before the paint dries, just give it a wipe and it vanishes. And a nice handy tip: if you get any paint on your canvas and you're like, oh, I wish it wasn't there, get some baby wipes before it dries. You can wipe away the paint on the canvas, and it's like it's never happened. Magic tools. These are baby wipes.
Very magic. Okay, I'm still using that kind of blue colour, going side to side. If it's a bit dry, mine is a little bit dry, you can get a touch of water on your brush, and then you can just kind of smooth it over with a bit of water.
Magic.
And then I'm going to use the dark blue, the one that we made. Remember this one here? We're going to put that at the top here, on this horizon line. So you've got to use the flat edge of the brush to try and do a straight line.
Got a steady hand for this one, sippers.
Yeah.
You can do this.
You can use the flat edge of your brush. Can you see how I'm using that flat edge? And I'm dragging that flat edge. Make sure you cover the pencil mark.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip. That pencil mark will be seen if you don't put a little bit of a thicker colour and a bit of a coat over it. You don't want to see those pencil lines.
So we got that deep sea now. I'm going to do that line. You want to go as straight as possible. The sea in the horizon is definitely a straight line.
And while you're doing that straight line, I'm going to see if you got the answer. See if you got the answer to the last dad joke. The question was, what kind of tree fits in your hand?
Oh.
Did you get it, little sippers? Did you get it? The answer was, of course, a palm tree. A palm tree. If you got that, well done, you. They're going to get harder from now on. They are.
I'm going to get my brush a little bit wet now. And I'm going to smudge it in.
Technical term, smudging.
Bit of water into this horizon line, and it's going to smooth out that dark blue. Can you see that? Smoothing it out. There we go. Might want to put a couple more. Maybe you want to put a little bit of white down here now. So grab some white. Start smudging out this little light blue area here. Gets a little bit lighter near to the front. So grab some white on your brush and just go over this light, like this little last bit here that gets near to the beach, and start smudging in some of this white into the wet paint that's still there. It goes a little bit lighter. Can you see how it's going a little bit lighter? It's starting to look a bit like waves.
Ah, that's those waves that are crashing on the front. I see what you're doing there.
So it's making it a little bit lighter. You can also put a tiny bit of white, little lines in there. Maybe you want to make it a little twinkly.
Oh, I like this. This is like the perfect beach for surfers. Got all those waves in there. Has any of our little sippers gone surfing before? Oh, you can add a little surfer in there if you're feeling extra brave. Extra. This is where we say, if you are feeling extra creative, add your own touches. Add a surfer. Add a seagull. Add anything you want to your background to make it more yours. We're just giving you a framework and we want you to play with that.
Yeah, add your own little creative elements. You might want to put, a seagull in the sky. You might want to put a dolphin, as I said, or just even a shark fin.
Well, that's a good idea. That'd be dangerous waters, though.
Just using the last little bits of blue colour coming in here. And then we'll move down to the sandy shore.
Talking of seagulls, I've got a dad joke for you.
Go on, let's hear it.
What do you call seagulls that live near the bay? So they might live near the bay. They're not near the sea, they live near the bay. What would you call seagulls that lived near the bay? I'll let you think about that. I told you, getting harder now. Getting harder. Have a sip and see if you can get this one. I think you can.
Okay, wash your brush. And you have to wash it really, really well this time because we are moving on to a yellow. What happens if you get a little bit of blue in yellow?
Oh, you tricking them. What happens? Is this a test?
You get a little bit of blue in yellow, you will get green. We don't want a green beach.
You don't want a green beach. I don't think it'll be a nice
Unless you
beach.
want a green beach. Maybe you want a green beach.
Maybe you do.
So you have to make sure your paintbrush is really clean. We're still using the big brush. We're using all of the big brush right now. And we are going to mix a beachy colour. Beachy sand colour. Sandy colour.
A beachy sand colour.
A beachy sand
colour. We
colour.
know what you meant, Pitcher.
Sand colour. We're going to mix the sand colour. So this is the sand colour here. It's almost like a mustardy yellow, a little bit of a pale yellow too. but definitely more of a dirty yellow as opposed to a bright lemon color yellow. So we are going to mix the ochre, yellow ochre.
Is that a yellow ochre?
Mustard color.
No.
We're going to mix some of that with some white. We can brighten it by adding a touch of yellow to it. We can make it a bit softer and calmer and lighter by adding some white to it. Or if we added a touch of brown, we can make it a bit more dirtier. So we'll have a play with that. Let's make 3 different shades of that color. So we've got a yellow ochre. Let's make the light shade first. So let's take some white to the side. You've got to try and get the bits without the blue in. Take some white and mix some of the yellow ochre in there. Not too much.
Less is more.
There we go. So I might add a little bit more white actually. I want it a bit paler than that. So we're going for a pastel colour. There we go. Nice pastel. We want to make it a bit brighter. You can add the smallest amount of yellow in there and it will just brighten it up a bit. That's nice. Nice sandy light colour. Okay. Let's make a dirtier version of that. So darker. Take some of that yellow ochre and let's add a very small touch of brown in there. So you can use any of the burnt umber or the sienna, it doesn't matter. You can mix both of them in there. Mix it, see what it looks like. That didn't change it that much, I'm gonna have to add it more. So I'm adding a bit of both browns. You can see now it's getting darker. We'll do it again. You can gradually see it's getting darker now.
Yeah, I see that.
I didn't wash my brush, but
Dirty brush.
with a touch of that colour that we just had, the light in there, it made it a little bit more subtle, which is nice because some of the white from my brush is going in there. Okay, so we've got the light, we've got the dark, and we can just use this yellow as well if we wanted to brighten up some of that colour. So let's go in. Can you see how the darker shade is over here? So we're just going to put a bit of the darker shade there, and that's going to be at the base of the palm tree.
A little bit of shadow.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shadow. So the light's coming from this way a little bit more. The shadow of the palm tree is kind of falling on the sand there, casting a shadow. Then we've got the lighter colours around. Let's start by putting this darker one. This one here. We're going to put it over here. It's going to be a bit darker.
You're going to paint those sides again?
Yeah, look, I forgot to do that bit of
oh, even Pitcher forgets to paint the sides sometimes. So remember, if you still got some of that paint left, paint those sides with blues and now this lovely, lovely yellow ochre that you've created. Make it happen, little slippers.
So I'm just adding in a little bit here. This is the darker, maybe a little bit in the shoreline here. Under the waves is a bit darker. And a couple of little bits. Wash your brush and we'll go in with the light colour now.
Oh, let's do it.
Make sure you wash it properly. Let's go in with the sandy colour, the sandy light colour now. Pick some of that up. Let's go pick a bit more of that up. So we're going to pop this down. So this is the light one we just made. Smudge it into the sea a little bit.
Oh, we love the smudging of the sea.
There we go. So can you see how we're overlapping the one that we just did, but it's going to peep through because it's a nice light colour. Can you see it peeping through? We'll put some more on top anyway. Blend it out a little bit. There we go. So I'm still painting side to side. You'll notice I'm painting side to side. Blend it in a little bit with this colour here. Don't forget the sides and the bottom.
Oh, I'm liking this blend. We're having to work quite fast on this one.
Yeah.
So are you managing to keep up, little sippers? Are you managing to keep up? Hope you are. I know you are. You love a challenge. Talking about challenges, can you guess the dad joke I gave you before? Did you get the answer to it? The question was, what do you call seagulls that live near the bay? Not the sea, the bay. The answer, did you get it? The answer was, they're called bagels.
Bagel!
They are
No.
bagels. Who loves a bagel?
I
love
love a bagel.
I love a seagull, but I love a bagel even better. If you got it, give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a cheeky round of applause. That one wasn't easy. You're only going to get harder.
There we go. You can see the little bit of shadow there. If you wanted to, you can add a touch of brown. So, see these browns? You can add either one of these browns, just a tiny bit, maybe the burnt umber. While it's still wet, add a little bit more of that shadow there. So it's because it's wet, it's blending out quite nicely, and I'm just dabbing it. Can you see how I'm dabbing it? Dabbing it like this. Still wet, so it's just making it look. And this is where the palm tree, the bottom of the palm tree is going to be. So you can add a little bit there too. So burnt umber, just add a touch of that. This area here, and we'll add the palm tree. Maybe you want to add. We'll add some of the crashing waves in a minute. I didn't want to add it because it blends out when it's still wet. So we'll add the crashing waves.
Oh, I like it. There's a method. There's a method to the madness. There's always a reason.
Okay. My sky still looks a tad bit wet. My sea, not so much. My beach, yes.
It's a very peaceful scene, though, isn't it?
Yes, isn't it? It's coming together.
Makes me want to go on holiday.
Wash your brush for me. We're not going to use the big brush. I don't think we're going to use it again. Maybe we will, but we're not going to use it right now. So give it a really good wash. Do the normal paint in the towel. Wiping. And then leave it lying down for me. Grab your medium brush, the one with the flat edge, remember. Get that wet because we always get it wet. We're going to go in and do these waves. Just these little waves here. Easy. Just a little bit of white. Okay. So a little bit of white. No mixing for this one. Grab some white. What I want you to do is tap one side of the brush and then tap the other side. What happens then is that these bristles then stick together. They're stuck together like that. Then we can just do these little waves side to side and adding them just near the bottom here where it's crashing onto the water. So what I want you to do is just to do these little taps.
Oh, you're just tapping away. Little delicate feet. I like that. Little happy feet on there.
Yeah, little lines, little taps. You can do it small. You can do some a bit bigger.
Oh, I've just thought of the perfect bad joke for this one.
Go on.
I've got it. Okay, let's see if our little sippers can get this one. Can you tell me what crashes onto the shore of very small beaches? So you're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. That's a sip tip. So what crashes onto the shore of very small, that's it, very small beaches? You get it? Well done. I think you can get this one.
There we go. So I'm tapping. You can also do these little running lines. A couple of little lines like that. Don't forget to do the sides if you need to. Again, you can add a couple of little ones out in the distance if you want to.
Oh, that's looking like a lovely, lovely beach right now with those waves crashing down.
I'm going to add a little bit more white here to make it a little bit more dramatic. There we go. I think maybe a little bit more here too.
And what you're doing right now is basically the answer to the dad joke. So if I haven't given you a tip, I'm giving you the biggest tip right now. What you are doing on the painting right now is basically the answer to the dad joke. If you connect those dots, you've got it.
Do a couple of little lines out to see. So again, it looks like. Cool. Time to do the palm tree.
I think it's thirsty work. I think you deserve a sip first.
Do you want to give him another dad joke?
They're still trying to answer the last one, picture.
What was it? Let me get up. Oh yeah, that's a hard one.
So the question was, what crashes onto the shore of very small beaches?
Do you have the answer for them? You're going to give them a bit more time.
I think they got this. I've given them a lot of hints on this one. The answer was not just waves. If you got waves, well done. I said tiny. So the answer was microwaves. That was the answer I was looking for. If you got that together, microwaves. Big round of applause to you.
Right, here is our palm tree. Can you see how it's slightly wonky? It's bending over. Now, you don't have to do that. You don't have to have a kind of a falling tree, one that's gone a bit wonky. You can have one that goes completely straight up if you want. You might instead decide that you want to have two. You might want to have one bending in this way, one bending in that way. Or maybe we want two crossing each other. Maybe you want to do like a hammock, have two, and then do a hammock in between. Completely up to you. But we're going to do this one today, so I'm going to do this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix a little brown. We do have brown there, but we're going to make it a little bit darker. And then we're going to paint this kind of wonky stalk here. What we need to do is make sure that this is dry-ish, especially the waves. I know they're painted on quite thick now. That might smudge a tiny bit, but you want to make sure to be fanning that or just leaving it in somewhere warm where you can air dry it. Hopefully it's semi-dry by the time we've mixed our colours. We've got our brown. Let's make a dark brown. Now there's a couple of ways to make a brown darker. You can add some more blue or red. That will make it darker. Or you can add black. So let's get our burnt umber. That's the darkest one of our browns. Let's add a little bit of blue in there. And you'll see straight away it's turning a little bit darker. Sometimes it doesn't get it quite dark enough, so add a touch of black in there. And it will just go a nice dark brown. Try not to get any white in there. If you've got any white on your brush. I'm using my medium brush still.
Medium brush time.
Blue and black into your brown. Try and make sure there's no white on your brush. Okay. Can even add a bit of burnt sienna or orange if you want it a bit more kind of, I don't know, woody colour. Okay, that's my brown. Sometimes, like this here, my brush is way too clogged up. I can try and get as much of it off as possible, but it's still not very sharp. And I need this to be quite sharp. You know how I talk about the bristles sticking together?
Oh, yeah.
They can't stick together if there's so much paint on the brush.
Makes sense.
So wash it, get your bristles back to how they were, and then do this. So you want to go in one side, flip your brush, and then pull out the other side. Now you've got your brush, it's sticking together.
Ooh, a little trick there, I like that. Nice sit tip.
What we're going to do, just this little bump here for the bottom, and then we're going to do a little line that goes up wonky. So you've got our little shaded area here. It's kind of in the middle of the canvas, actually. And we're going to do this little kind of root. So this is the bottom, the root of the tree. Now, if your beach sand is still quite wet, it might smudge a little bit, but that's okay. Then we want our palm tree, and it's going to go slightly wonky, but it's going to come over here into this part here. So what you want to do is you want to use your brush, very tip of your brush.
Just the tip.
And you want it kind of pointing upwards, so you don't want it thick ways, side to side. You want it pointing like that.
Get a bit more detail that way.
Yeah, and then you're going to bring that up, and you can do a little line like this until you're happy of where the palm tree goes, like that.
And if your line isn't as straight as pictures, do you know what you need to do?
What do you do?
You need to palm down. That's what you need to do. And have a cheeky sit. That will help. I think you need to palm down and have a cheeky sit. Yes.
There we go. So we've got a nice wonky line, actually.
We love a bit of wonky lines.
And it's quite dark right now. We've got very dark brown. So it's almost black. But that's good because we're going to add some lighter parts to it. Now, if you're struggling to get a thin one, it's okay. Just make it a little bit thicker if you need to, if it goes thick. Well, our palm tree does go a little bit thinner nearer to the top here. Try not to go too high because we want lots of full leaves here.
Yeah, we want to get that foliage completely sprayed all around that canvas. So save some space for it.
So if your paint gets a bit dry, mine is because it's a little bit warm today, get a bit of water in it. That's going to help. Get a bit of water on your brush and it will go nice and smooth.
Well, I've taken inspiration from what you said about the background. Adding things like sharks into your sea. So I've got a dad joke based on that one.
Oh.
You ready?
Yeah, ready.
So, we love a little holiday, and this scene looks a bit like a vacation. But can you tell me, where do sharks go on holiday? Where do sharks go on vacation? Where do sharks go? Think about it. There is a country that has something that sharks have too. If you know, you know.
That was a good little hint.
Was it too easy, picture?
I don't know.
I think they can get it.
At the top, we're just going to do a couple of almost like little coconuts.
Oh, add some coconuts to your palm tree. Why not? If you're feeling creative, add a coconut.
Coconut. So your waves might have smudged just a little bit.
To all the waves. You can't wave to us, but we can wave to you. That's why we say to send in your creations. We want you to send your creations in to us at the end when you have got your final masterpiece done and dusted. I think you're going to want to send it to us. I know you are. I know you are.
Grab your small brush. Get it slightly wet again. We're just going to do with that dark brown a couple of little lines that are going to help us with our palm tree leaves. Phew.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you. Let's do a couple of spider legs. I know some people don't like spiders.
Do they have to be spider legs? Do they have to be?
What we're going to do is we're just going to go out like this. And we're going to do a little, looks like an eyebrow. 1, 2. The paint's running out a little bit. Maybe down here. 3, 4.
Ooh, how many are we going for?
I don't know. Maybe 3 more. 5. Do one going all the way up. And then maybe just one coming over here again. And let me get some water.
Nice.
When it gets a bit dry, can you see it going a bit broken? You don't want the broken look.
Oh yeah, so every time you see it's getting a bit dry, just dip it a little bit in some water and you'll get a nice smoother effect onto your canvas.
So can you see how that looks? Like a little bit like a spider right now, but we're going to change that.
I am scared a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to change that into some nice branches in a second.
With this dark brown, while we've got this little brush, I'm just going to add a couple more bumps down here in the sand, little kind of bits of brown just around the stalk. Just going to make that a little bit more settled in. Okay, so just using the lines to do a couple of little wavy lines.
I've just realised that we told them about our lovely berets, but we didn't tell them how they can get them. So if you love our famous blue beret, you can actually get them from the Art Sippers shop. I've got it going across the screen right now. So that's it. Get your Art Sippers famous blue beret at artsippers.com/shop. You can dress up. Be an artist. Get that blue beret power. You can do it. You can do it.
Feels good to be painting in a beret.
It does. And you get a nice extra cheeky pin as well. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bonus little Art Sippers pin that comes along with it. And that means you're part of the Sippers family.
So with this palm tree, we want to add some lighter browns. We've got our burnt sienna here and a burnt umber. So let's use a couple of them browns. The light is coming from this angle, so the light is hitting this side of the palm tree. We're using a small brush still, but we're just going to do a couple of little lines down the left-hand side of the palm tree. Can you see that?
Oh, I can see that.
So it's just lighting up. Just a couple of little lines down that side of the palm tree. Can you see how it's lighting up a bit? Making it a little bit browner.
Oh, it's really making a big difference.
Yeah.
Brightening up that palm tree.
Brighten it up a bit. I also like to use a tiny bit of this ochre yellow as well. I know you're thinking yellow, but when it's kind of blending in with that brown a little bit, oh, that was a bit too much. But you just put a little bit in. And the thing is, if you get it wrong, you can just mix some of that dark brown back in over the top.
See, this is why we love art, because as the famous Bob Ross said, it's just happy little accidents. Accidents turn into surprises. There are no accidents in art. You can just add, take away, put more on, and no one will ever know. It's your own little masterpiece. So keep adding. If you make accidents, turn them into happy little ones.
Yeah. So you can see already, put maybe some up in the coconut bit too there. Some of that brown and that yellow. So the reason we're keeping it to the left-hand side is because the light hits there and it makes it look a little bit more 3D. So you can put a couple of little bits on that side, but mainly stick to that side. You can mix a little bit of yellow into your burnt sienna too. So a tiny touch of yellow into that burnt sienna, so the lighter brown. That will lighten up that brown even more, giving you another little shade of brown. There we go.
I've seen some people climb up those palm trees to grab the coconuts. And I think this palm tree is like the perfect shape and size to climb up to grab a coconut.
Oh, you think you can climb that?
I'll give it a try.
Oh, I'd love to see you try. You'd have to do that monkey grip.
That would be a bit scary.
But you have to hug it.
That would be scary.
Is it monkey grip or monkey hug?
I think it's a monkey. I don't know. Either way, it depends how tall your palm tree is. How tall is your palm tree?
They're very hard to climb. You need to just grip and kind of work your way up. It's not like another tree where you can just go up the branches usually.
Just like the Sippers, I'm always up for a challenge, so I'll be up for it.
You're always up for some challenges, aren't you?
Oh yes, I'm talking about challenges. I threw one out to little Sippers. I want to know, where do sharks go on holiday? Where do sharks go? If they go to any country, which country would it be? Did you get it? Have a sip and have a think. Did you get it? The answer was Finland.
That's a good one.
I like it. I like it. If you got that, yes. You're thinking like me now. You're getting extra creative. You're in a creative zone.
All right, we're going to do the last little bit of this painting now, which is these palm tree leaves. Can you see there's actually a variety of different color greens there? With green, green is a secondary color, so it's not a primary color, it's a secondary color, which means that two primary colors are mixed together to give you green. The primary colors mixed together to give you green are yellow and blue. Mix them together, you get green. Thing is, you can actually change the shade of the green, so the color of the green, you can change that. By adding more yellow, you'll get a light green, and by adding more blue, you get a dark green. So you can really play around with that. You can also add white and black to make it even more vibrant or make it dull. So it's lighten it up or make it dull. So let's have a play. We've got our grass green, so you squeeze a bit of that out. If we take some yellow to the side and mix some of that grass green in there, straight away you'll see that, can you see how light that green is?
That's really light.
That is giving you a nice light green. So it's so much lighter than what we've got here. It's a very, very light green. So there you go. That's how you get a light green. You've got yellow, add some yellow into your green, and you've got a light green. Let's make a medium color green. So take some of that green to the side, mix only a small amount of yellow in there, and you'll straight away see it lighten up, and that's going to give you a medium green. Yes, that's a little bit lighter there, but not as light as that one. So add lots of yellow, you get light. Add a tiny bit of yellow, you get medium. Let's make a dark green, shall we?
Let's do it.
Remember what we said, we add some blue and green. Add blue to your green and it will make it darker. Here's some blue. And that's a really dark green now.
Oh, that really is, right?
Really dark, yeah. So you can see it's darker than that one there. That is definitely darker than that one there. So that was that green mixed with a bit of blue. Of course, you can add black. It will make it darker, but it will take the vibrancy away. So it depends on if you want the vibrancy taken away. Should we use these colours to do some leaves?
I think we should give it a try.
I think so.
Let's make it happen.
Let's get our, that was me mixing with the medium brush. Put a little bit of water in the paints if you need to. So I'm going to grab this, I'll show you. I'm going to grab my medium brush. I'm going to put a little bit of water.
Ooh, what does that do, Pitcher?
A little droplet of water into the colours. So can you see that? I'll tell you what it does in a second. So a little droplet of water into every colour that we just made. I'm just going to wipe my brush. Now I'm going to mix that droplet of water into my paint and it's going to be nice and runny. So it's going to give you a little bit more of a runnier paint, and that is going to really help when we're doing these tiny thin lines.
Full of set tips today.
So let's have a go. Right, we're not going to be using our medium brush just yet. Let's go in with our small brush.
Let's go in with our small brush. Let's do it.
Oh, done that one. Go in with our small brush. Start with the dark green for me. So again, it's supposed to be slightly runnier. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from our little eyebrows, we're going to go out like this. We're going to do lots of little lines out like this. Out, 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 out.
Do you have to do that and say that when you do it?
Out, 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 yes. Out,
I think
out,
it makes
out,
it
out, out, out.
even more creative when you say ow, 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 ow,
Ow, ow, ow, ow, ow, ow, ow, ow.
Let's all say it together.
Ow, ow, ow. So we're going with the dark one. We're just sticking to one eyebrow right now. So we're going out from the eyebrow, but then what we need to do is we need to go down, right near the tip of it here. So we're going down, 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 down. And that is going to give us a palm tree leaf. Let's do another eyebrow. We're going to go in this eyebrow. We're going to go out, 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 out. we've got to go for a flick. Can you see that's going to a flicky end?
Oh yeah, I see it.
So you start on the eyebrow and you flick. Start on the eyebrow, flick. Start on the eyebrow, flick. Start on the eyebrow, flick. That was us going out. So let's go out here. Out, 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 out. Flick, flick, flick.
Is anyone counting how many times we are saying out? It's probably a lot. But it's good stuff.
If it's not very smooth, you need to add a bit more water. So grab a small brush. Oh gosh.
Ooh.
Get a couple of droplets of water, mix it in. You want it slightly runny, okay? Not too runny, but slightly runny.
So remember, we are going in with the small brush. And then we're going out with the small brush. In, out, shake it about.
We're going out, 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 out. And then, what do we want to do at the very tip? We want to go down, 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 down.
I'm loving this. We should turn this into a song.
Yeah, in and out, down and down. Do that with all of your eyebrows. Out, 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 out. You can go far out. You can go small out.
Far out. That's what they say on the beaches. Far out, bro. Far out.
Out, out, out. Out, 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 out.
And if you are finding it a little bit hard to go out, 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 what you need to do is have a sip, 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 sip.
That's a good idea.
I think it's good, right?
And now we've gone out, we want to go down, 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 down. Keep doing that. Out, 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 out. Out from the other side. Out, 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 out. Still at an angle though, so when you go out, you're going kind of at a diagonal angle. And then you want to go out. There. Going again. Going out at a diagonal. Overlap them a bit if you can.
I'm excited to see what these turn out to be like. I'm actually really excited. So I told you before, there will be a competition at the end if you send them in to us. So remember to join the Facebook group, the Art Sippers Kids Club, and share your artwork with us. Hashtag Art Sippers Challenge. We want to see it. We can't see it. We know that you've got a career masterpiece. So remember, the Art Sippers Kids Club on Facebook. Join us and share your creativity.
And if you haven't joined us live today, that's okay. If you have joined at another time, hopefully you've still been getting involved with the dad jokes.
Of course they have. Of course they have.
You can always catch up on all of our other shows.
That's so true. That's what we always say. Make sure you subscribe to Art Sippers on YouTube and follow us. Follow us on Instagram. We'll let you know when we got our new shows and upcoming events. So make sure you follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube to keep up to date with all things Art Sippers.
Going out. I'm running out of this dark colour. I'm going to try and make it squeeze.
Can you stretch it out a little bit longer?
Stretch it all the way to the end. Might need to get a touch more water in it, maybe.
While you're adding these eyebrows to your lovely palm tree, I've got, I think, a really good dad joke. I'm going to see if our little sippers are in the creative zone now to get this. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, you ready for this? Are you ready? What did the sand say to the tide when it came back in?
In.
I didn't say that, but I like that. So the question was, what did the sand say when the tide came back in? In, as Pitcher said. Come on, you can get this. You're in the creative zone now. We've stepped you up from amateur to medium, and now we're going hard. Can you get this? Let's see if your creative flow is ready to go.
I like that. A little bit of rhyming. Going in with this one now, this medium colour that we made. Because the palm tree, the light is hitting it in certain areas, it's bringing out different colours. So if you ever look at trees when you're out and about, you have a look at the leaves, when it hits a certain light, it goes a bit lighter. Sometimes light comes through leaves and it makes it a bit brighter and lighter too. That's what's happening here. The light is lightening up a couple of the leaves. So you want to just be painting exactly how we did with the other ones. Out, 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 out. That again. You don't have to do every single leaf. You just go in, touch up a couple. It's brighter here. Make sure you leave some of the dark ones too.
Oh, I like that. There's a pun there. Make sure you leaf. Make sure you leaf. Hey.
Very good, very good. And then when you're done with that one, you want to go in with the light green. Now it could be a little bit lighter. This is a bright colour green.
Oh, that's very bright.
So we will go in with a little bit of a lighter green, I think, that we will kind of tint a little bit by adding some white, and it will make it lighter, but it won't be as vibrant as this bright green here. This green that I'm using is going to be a bit dry, so I'm going to grab my paintbrush, add a couple of droplets of water again, mix in very carefully when you're using a small brush to mix.
You hear that, little sippers? Pitcher said very carefully. When she says that, she means it.
So when you use a small brush like this, you don't really want to be mixing with it because it's a very delicate brush and all the bristles can fall out and go all over the place if you use this one to mix. So you don't really want to mix with this. See, it's getting a bit more depth now. It doesn't look so flat. It looks a bit more 3D. Okay, I might add a tiny bit of white to that colour now. So white with medium brush. Add a bit of white into that light green. So add a bit of white into that light green. Can you see it's going even lighter now?
Well, I like it.
But it's not as vibrant, which is nice still. When you're done with that, there we go. Get a bit of water in it. Don't mix very hard with this small brush.
Yeah, it's really hard to mix with a small brush.
I'm going to add a little bit of this light green now. You can see it coming through. I'm still doing that thing where you just kind of flick out.
Out.
Out. Down. In.
You're going to be saying this later on, sippers. You're going to be saying in, out, down. Everyone's like, what are you talking about, little sippers? And you'll be like, you don't know about art sippers. You don't know about art sippers, kids. In, out.
You can say it every time you see it on your wall. In, out. If you have some gold, you can get some gold and stuff in some gold.
Ooh, that's a great shout. That would really elevate this artwork. I think this is a great shout. Well, you got some of that yellow ochre if you haven't got gold.
Yeah.
That could be a nice little touch too.
Yellow ochre, yeah. So the yellow ochre here, you might want to put a bit of that in there. If you don't have gold, you put a little bit of that kind of. It looks like gold anyway.
Exactly.
But if you do have some metallic gold.
If you haven't got one of our Art Sippers creative kits, where have you been? So we make sure that you have all the tools you need to create a masterpiece. So we've got inside, you've got canvas, you've got canvas board, you've got
paper towel,
paint
brushes,
well,
paint, pencil, rubber,
and this a cheeky sip.
And also some sweet treats. So whether that is some sweets or a chocolate bar, you might have that in your box too.
Because you might get a little bit nibbly when you're doing creativity. I get hungry anyway. So we thought, why not? Throw that in there too.
Definitely. Okay. Final touches. Have a look from a distance. What does it need? Does it need something? I'll probably make my little coconuts a bit darker. So I'll add a bit of dark brown in there. Maybe this little bit of dark brown at the top here because it's getting further. And that's the bit I would change. Might add a little bit more of this kind of brown colour down on the beach a little bit more. maybe in the shaded areas, maybe a little bit more of this brown colour. I just put in the coconuts. So it looks a bit more of a shadow. That's just a little bit of brown, burnt umber.
Oh, I'm really liking this. I'm sure that we're building their creative. Sure, we're building their creative. Go on. Muscles.
Oh,
Muscles.
That's good.
Look at that. We collaborated to give you the pinnacle of dad jokes there. You got to be here to see that.
Were you ready for that? I think you're ready. If you weren't ready, I understand. There's this little bit of blue here that I forgot around the side, so I need to make sure I cover that. I've still got some of that blue left. Oh, very good. Not too bad, that colour match there. Cool. Sides if you need any here. Check the bottom, check the top. I think we're good with that. But what do we need to do to make this your own?
Ooh, is this a trick question? What do we need to do?
You notice anything here that you might just see in the light?
Oh, that shiny thing. That shiny thing.
Sign your work. As I said at the beginning, I am NorteyPitcher. This is J and a P there.
JP.
For JP Picture. And I'm going to sign it with the small brush.
Love that.
So you can do it in any colour you want. Yellow ochre is a nice choice. It will kind of stand out maybe a little bit over in that corner, but not too much. Let's have a look, see how much it stands out. Yeah, if it doesn't stand out enough, then just put a little bit of brown in there, in the yellow ochre.
That's a good idea.
Or you could just sign it in brown, actually. Let me sign it in brown. Make sure you get that water into your paint so it's a bit runny, so you can use that small brush. You always want it a little bit more runnier when you're using the small brush. Okay. There you go.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you the answer to that last dad joke. I told you a little bit harder, but I think you got it. So the question was, what did the sand say when the tide came back in? What did they say? What did they say? The answer, I know you got this. Long time no see.
Yeah, that's good.
Long time no see, because the sea tide in out. You got it. You got it. If you got it, you are on fire. Little sippers, you're using your creativity, creative brain, right side of your brain for creative thinking and right side of your brain for creative doing.
That's the plan. Using your brain and then creating something that you should hopefully be very proud of.
So our aim in Art Sippers was to take you from zero to Picasso. And I think we might have done it. I think we might have done it. So remember, what is the final thing for the Art Sippers Challenge? There was a final step, step 3. Do you remember a picture?
The second step was to take a picture of this one first. Make sure you take a picture of that one.
I'm forgetting that step.
The third step is to share your work. So that means you've got to go show someone. That's the part of building your confidence that we talk about. So if you share your work with someone, you're basically showing them a part of what's you and what you've done. And it can be a vulnerable position to be in, but it's quite rewarding sometimes when you hear feedback from someone or hear compliment from someone saying, you know, that's quite nice what you've done there. And you're like, oh, maybe I'll do it again. So you might get some feedback where they're like, oh, why don't you add this or add that? And you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But
and that's what we're building, right? We're building up that creative confidence so you can take on feedback. You can ask for feedback. And hopefully in the end, you don't even care because you're just happy that you've created your own masterpiece that you're going to hang up on the wall because you created a wall-worthy art.
That's so true.
That's why we're here. We are Art Sippers, building up your creative muscles.
Yeah, flamingo flex.
The flamingo flex. There we go. There we go. So if you haven't already, remember to subscribe to Art Sippers on YouTube and also go to our Facebook group, the Art Sippers Kids Club, and share your artwork with us on the hashtag Art Sippers Challenge.
So we'll see you next time, sippers.
Yes.
Sip, sip. Bye.
Stay curious.
And stay creative.
Whoop, whoop.